and welcome to Around San Diego. So glad to have you with me. I'm CBS 8's Jenny Day. I'll get you caught up on a week's worth of news and look ahead in just 30 minutes. We do begin with crime, though. San Diego police are investigating a homicide near Mission Beach after a body was found right there at Bonita Cove. Right now, police say there was a confrontation early Wednesday involving the victim and a group of 5 to 6 white males and females in their late teens to early 20s. The victim is described as a man in his late 40s. His body was found with multiple stab wounds and upper body trauma. Police are asking for any witnesses to come forward.
Beach has had tens of thousands of people here over the weekend, and certainly after fireworks, after the 4th of July holiday, that could certainly be something that could hinder it. But on the same token, we have a lot of people that may have seen something, and that's why we're asking for the public's help. If they saw anything, heard a fight, heard some type of confrontation that occurred at this particular park, to please contact us so we can interview them and see if it's something that is related.
Yeah, definitely a busy holiday weekend. So if you have any information, including surveillance video or cell phone video that could help police solve this crime, you are asked to contact them or call Crime Stoppers. We're also learning new information about a man who was killed after a portion of a tree fell on him. Heartland Fire and Rescue says the man was cutting down that tree right on his own property. It happened around 11 Wednesday morning on Altozano Drive in El Cajon, in a neighborhood that's just a little bit west of Chaparral High School. Officials say the man died there right at the scene, and crews worked for hours to carefully remove his body. We're certainly following this developing story, and we'll update you on CBS8.com. Well, a man has been arrested after police say he stabbed and killed one of his roommates. It happened just before midnight on Sunday at the Alabama Manor Senior Community Complex on Alabama Street in North Park. Police say they found a 58-year-old man who had been stabbed multiple times in the chest. He died at the scene as well. Right now, police believe the suspect is 39-year-old Jonathan Camp, and they say he lived there with his father and the victim, and for unknown reasons stabbed him. And the investigation, of course, still is ongoing. Camp, the suspect in this case, has been booked into jail on 1 count of murder. And a man and woman are under arrest accused of a crime spree that lasted many hours across multiple parts of San Diego County. Investigators say 26-year-old Calvin Brown and 18-year-old Rolana Blunt started their spree around 5 p.m. Wednesday when they allegedly shot a woman in Imperial Beach. We're told that she is expected to be okay. San Diego police say after the suspects left the shooting scene, they were spotted in the Valencia Park neighborhood, where they fired shots at a home, then headed to their next stop to allegedly rob a smoke shop in El Cajon, shooting an employee who tried to stop them. He also was not hurt. A short time later, police say the couple crashed their car, then ran off and carjacked a Nissan in the Claremont area. The pair was arrested in Encinitas just after 8 o'clock on Wednesday night. Brown and Blunt now face multiple charges, including attempted murder and assault with a deadly weapon. Well, a doctor and nurse accused of negligence in the death of an inmate at Las Colinas Jail will go on trial. The on-duty jail nurse, Dana Lee Pasqua, and corrections doctor, Frederick von Linkting, well, they are both charged with involuntary manslaughter. The inmate, 24-year-old Elisa Cerna, was pregnant and suffering drug and alcohol withdrawal when she was found dead inside her cell in 2019. Prosecutors say Pasqua saw Cerna fall against a wall in the cell, hitting her head, and then no medical aid was administered for nearly an hour. Cerna was being held in a medical isolation cell and was supposed to be monitored by the jail medical staff. Now, if convicted, the doctor and nurse face a maximum of 4 years in state prison. Well, the Sheriff's Department says changes are happening inside San Diego County jails. The department has faced criticism over the number of in-custody deaths. Sheriff Kelly Martinez just announced advancements in their processes to streamline operations. She says millions have been invested in technology. The department has upgraded the camera system, and deputies in the jails now wear body-worn cameras. Martinez also says there are efforts being made to keep drugs from entering our jails.
People who come into our custody are not always in the best of medical and mental health conditions, so that's really our focus. I did, however, have oversight and authority over our homicide team that did take that case to the DA's office. So if there's staff that are culpable in any of the deaths that occur in our facility, we will hold people accountable.
Yeah, so far this year, there have been 8 in-custody deaths inside San Diego County jails. Well, new laws are now in effect as of last weekend, including one that lets Californians sue gun manufacturers. Another helps give a fresh start to reformed criminals. Our political reporter Morgan Reiner has more on those laws and what else is now in the books.
Another law that went into effect over the weekend requires breeding pigs to have more room to stand and spin around, also known as the bacon law.
Saturday marked the first day some new laws went into effect in California. Senate Bill 731 will automatically seal criminal records for those who completed their sentences and do not commit another crime for 4 years.
I think it's going to not just lift people's spirits, but just make them feel better about themselves and give them a lot more confidence and open more doors for them. So it's a big win. It's a big win for everybody.
The law creates exceptions for sex crimes and violent felonies, and all records will still be shared with law enforcement and school districts. The law is opposed by groups like the Peace Officers Research Association, who points out that the list of violent felonies in California is not long.
Some of the more serious violent criminals like domestic violence and deadly weapon convictions, unfortunately, were still in the bill. So that's why we remained opposed to it.
Californians can also now sue the gun industry for manufacturing or selling illegal firearms. Assemblymember Phil Ting introduced the legislation
to make sure that gun manufacturers are really held responsible.
The law is currently being challenged in court. Then there's what's known as the bacon law, which voters approved to give breeding pigs more room to stand and turn around in their pens. The Humane Society of the United States led the campaign. It's opposed by pig farmers like Steve Weaver, who says they were already following standards.
One of the places that it could come from is from overseas, from some other country, who may say, but there's no way to enforce that they're meeting the requirements by the state of California. California doesn't have people that they can send abroad to check on them.
There's also another law that went into effect on Saturday aimed at cracking down on retail theft by making large third-party sellers disclose their bank account details and their names online and also provide an address.
Morgan Reiner there reporting. Thank you for that. Well, with thousands of tourists spending this extended holiday weekend in San Diego, finding a place to stay can sometimes be a challenge. Some visitors, though, are choosing other alternatives over short-term vacation rental options like Airbnb. A new study finds that some cities like Orlando, New Orleans, and Austin are seeing a decline in short-term vacation rental bookings. While demand still appears strong here in San Diego this holiday weekend, some vacationers say that they are opting, though, for hotels instead.
You have a lot of amenities, and it was feasible. The budget was feasible.
You know, I thought of hotel, but I'm like, I got 7 dudes with me. Let's get a house because there's just more room. It's cheaper for the size we have, you know, kitchen too.
Yeah, no doubt. Pros and cons. So Airbnb says the findings in that recent study are not consistent with their own data, adding that more guests are traveling on Airbnb than ever before, with overall bookings up 19% in the first quarter of this year compared to 2022. Well, right now you'll find new barriers blocking traffic in the Gaslamp on 5th Avenue from Broadway to K Street. The hope is to make the Gaslamp more pedestrian friendly. CBS 8's Regina Urita has more on those changes.
Well, that's right. These are the steel bollards used to block intersections, but only from noon to 2 a.m. And it's all part of the city's multi-phase project to revamp the area.
It really enhances the safety out here.
These steel bollards are now being used to keep cars from coming through the Gaslamp Promenade. It's the city's effort to keep the safe walkability access for people and the outdoor dining for businesses.
I love it. Keeping people safe, one, from the traffic, but then, you know, allows bars to kind of spread out.
San Diego's vision to transform the Gaslamp Quarter into an outdoor attraction has been in the works for decades. Blocking the street from vehicles is the first phase in the multi-phase project. The next step is to freshen up streets by adding more trees and replacing asphalt. Gaslamp businesses approve of the vision.
It opens up restaurants like us who maybe don't always get the walk-in business because people don't know. Now they can travel up and down and they can see us all and come hang out and have a good time downtown.
Many are excited to see what other projects city officials have underway.
And a feasibility study is underway to calculate potential costs for phase 2. There's also talks about a walkable promenade on Normal Street in Hillcrest. Reporting in downtown, I'm Regina Urita, CBS 8.
Yeah, interesting. Looks good. Regina, thanks. Well, we have an update now on the state of street lights in San Diego. So far, crews have fixed more than 400 lights, but there's still a long way to go. Councilmember Stephen Whitburn says that they are working to make downtown feel safer for those who live there and those visiting. Whitburn says that one problem that they're dealing with is that people experiencing homelessness use those street lights as power outlets.
One of the challenges that we've seen, particularly where there are encampments, is that people have broken into the base of the light poles and they have pulled out the wiring and they've connected various appliances and such to that wiring. In some cases microwaves, other times it's cell phones, and that is not only dangerous to the individual, but it causes these lights to go out.
Yeah, so to stop that from happening, Whitburn says the city is now placing lock boxes on street light poles. About 6,000 street lights still need to be fixed. Officials say by the end of the summer, 600 more of those lights will be repaired. Well, meantime, the city of San Diego opened a new safe sleeping site in Golden Hill just last week. But now people staying there say that the city is not delivering on all of its promises yet. Some say the city wasn't not ready to open. One person says the city is providing little to no counseling to help them improve their situation. And there are still no showers, no laundry, and a bathroom problem there at the site.
There was no water in the porta potties, so if somebody used it, it was just there, stacking up.
Yeah, the city's director of communications says that mobile showers come to the site and laundry is off-site but accessible to the clients. The site initially accommodated 10 residents and it has since grown to house 19 individuals in 13 of those tents. The city plans to expand the facility to 136 tents. And earlier this week, San Diego County leaders announced a new program to help veterans experiencing homelessness and get them off the streets. It's called the Leave No Veteran Homeless Initiative. Right now, there are more than 800 vets who are homeless living on San Diego County streets, and officials want to get them somewhere permanent to live. As part of the initiative, the federal government is providing housing vouchers for veterans experiencing homelessness. However, there's not enough available housing. So county leaders urge the community to step in and help.
If you have a room or a space that can house someone, we need your help. And I said this earlier, right? This is a call to action. All of us here are doing the legwork, and we need now landlords to come to really step up and help us in this process. If you have a spare room, a small unit apartment complex, or a large development, any space.
Yeah, so if you are someone who has an available space, you can call 211 or go online to noveteranhomeless.org to fill out an interest form. And of course, any solution to homelessness in San Diego will include heavy lifting by many nonprofits, among them the San Diego Rescue Mission. For decades, the mission has been on the front lines fighting this problem. Now they're looking to expand beyond their downtown location in San Diego to other parts of the county. Here's CBS 8's Brian White.
These are our sleeping areas. Closet for my son, Avante.
Venkateshwa Rao Vadlamudi, or Vivi for short, shows me the room where he and his son have been staying for the past year.
This is my normal drawer. It looks stuffed. I put all my stuff in here.
Avante turned 8 years old a few days ago, and next month he's going into the 3rd grade at Porter Elementary School.
They were made from stamps, and as you may know, it's also made of paint.
57-year-old Vivi remembers the feeling of comfort and security when he and his son first walked in the door here when they had nowhere else to go.
You know, you feel that coziness and the security and some kind of harmonious feeling. I had that feeling.
He, along with 48 others, recently graduated the year-long program called Mission Academy. It's a holistic approach with supportive classes and job training.
There's not a magic wand to this. It's good old-fashioned hard work, and they put in the work, and our team works really hard.
Paul Armstrong is vice president of programs here, and he says they just launched their Every Heart campaign with a goal of raising $5 million by the end of the year to renovate their facilities.
What we know is environment matters, and so when we can provide a quality environment for someone coming in off the street where they actually feel that they've been seen, valued, that they're being given, treated with dignity and respect, all of those factors, they feed into how we're able to be so successful.
The funds raised will also help them expand across the county with a new navigation center in Oceanside opening later this month with 50 shelter beds, and a new facility opening early next year in National City with over 160 shelter beds.
The fact that we're able to bring shelter beds online is super exciting for us because we do want to be a part of the solution.
As for Vivi, he's working on an associate's degree in cybersecurity, and he's optimistic for the future.
I'm not the old Vivi anymore. This is a new identity for me in my life.
To help the cause, CBS 8 just presented a Tegna Foundation check for $7,500. If you'd like to contribute, just head to CBS8.com and click on the help button. I'm Brian White for CBS 8.
Brian, thanks. So while people around the county were out celebrating 4th of July, a neighborhood watch group in Chula Vista is stepping up its efforts for holiday safety. They're on the lookout for anything suspicious as well as any neighborhood pets that may have gotten loose because of those fireworks. CBS 8's Jasmine Ramirez visited the Rolling Hills Ranch community to tag along with their patrol.
Tonight, we met a grandfather and grandson duo who are leading this neighborhood watch group. They said on holidays like this, it's important to be extra observant.
This is Tyler and his grandpa Don. We also met their neighborhood watchdog, Maggie Lou.
Between me and my grandfather, it's created a amazing bond between us. We're like tag teamers.
Neighbors who are involved in the neighborhood watch group act as the eyes and ears in the Rolling Hills Ranch community. It's comprised of more than 1,600 homes.
And let's agree that we're going to keep our eyes peeled for intruders, potential criminals, and if we see something, we say something.
They also work closely with the police department and make sure everyone tries to take steps to keep their own homes safe.
Keep the doors locked. Keep your cars in the garage if you have a garage. Lock your side gates. Keep your house well lit. Just well lit at night.
Tonight, they're on the lookout for pets that may have gotten scared and ran away from loud fireworks.
Hi, I'm the neighborhood watch captain. Were you in seeing what's up with the dog?
We saw them in action tonight.
Might have to get that dog.
Are you looking for a dog?
Okay, let's go get him.
Luckily, she was wearing a collar and they were able to call her owner.
I just want to let you know that we found your dog running around the street.
Oh my Lord, I didn't know she got out.
Shortly after, she was reunited.
Yeah, no problem.
It's moments like tonight's reunion and positive feedback from the neighbors that keep them going.
Everybody waves and says, oh my God, thank you for your community engagement, or we need people like you and your grandfather in our neighborhood.
They say they're always happy to strengthen the group and have more neighbors join them. In Chula Vista, Jasmine Ramirez, CBS 8.
Yes, sweet duo doing good work. Jasmine, thanks. Well, 50 members of the armed services are now officially U.S. citizens. The group took the oath on Monday on the USS Midway with an Independence Day naturalization ceremony. A newly naturalized military member from France told us that he's grateful for the opportunity to serve his country.
Now becoming a citizen, I feel very fortunate, grateful, and hoping to continue serving, give back to my country.
This is an annual ceremony by U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services to celebrate the anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. Well, planet Earth just recently experienced the hottest day ever recorded. In fact, the past 3 days have been record-setting. And now as San Diego starts to finally warm up, I talked with an expert on how you can best take care of yourself in the heat. Yeah, May gray, June gloom, finally all now behind us. And now it's time for the July fry. So this advice goes beyond drinking water, wearing sunscreen, and finding shade. As the world gets warmer, we want to help you and your health in this heat for the long haul. San Diego has been well below average, but overall, planet Earth is smashing records when it comes to heat.
I mean, it's pretty hot.
I mean, it's pretty hot.
Well, some are already experiencing a summer scorcher. It's winter in other parts of the world, so the average temperature here on Earth reached just under 63 degrees for the first time ever on Tuesday, Wednesday, and today.
The world's changing, and we call it extreme heat events.
And as we brace for San Diego summer, I spoke with a climate health expert, Dr. V. Nguyen, about why it's so important to be mindful of our hot weather for both the short and long-term side effects.
Most people don't hydrate enough on a regular day, and you imagine when it gets hot, they definitely don't hydrate enough.
Getting close to the triple-digit mark puts us in greater danger of experiencing heat exhaustion.
So you'll get people with just like that mental fog, school achievement goes down, interesting phenomenon of more kidney stones. All those things cost money, right? And that actually affects our community.
That's why she's studying the topic.
Heat waves happen, kids are born early and small.
Dr. Nguyen's research shows extreme heat leads to premature labor, strain on your heart, lungs, and kidneys. And as temperatures rise, she says, so does domestic violence.
Disruption of sleep actually affects your circadian rhythm and actually increases risk of psychiatric illness and hospitalization. So it's just this overall increased stress response that your body has.
So while the most vulnerable are the elderly, the young, those with certain medical conditions, and just those who work outside, anyone can fall victim in just a few short hours. So stay hydrated, stagger your outdoor activities, and sorry friends, steer clear of alcohol. It's very dehydrating.
If you generally have taken care of yourself, you won't kind of have those medical issues later on.
And keep in mind, extreme heat causes about 700 deaths in the U.S. annually and brings about 67,000 people into the emergency room. Reporting for CBS 8, I'm Jenny Day. Yeah, and climate scientists are warning that Earth's average temperature won't be dropping anytime soon. Experts say the climate crisis, combined with an El Nino weather pattern and warming temperatures in the Pacific, are pushing new world records. Scientists have warned for months 2023 could see record heat as fossil fuels like coal, natural gas, and oil keep warming the atmosphere. Experts say the daily highs indicate that climate change is reaching uncharted territory. Well, just in time for summer travel, the city of San Diego is increasing the number of daily passport appointments it offers. The office of the city clerk is now offering 40 appointments every day instead of 12. Appointments can be made online. Walk-ins are now available every Wednesday, though. Some helpful tips: have your paperwork filled out before you arrive. Bring a check or money order, and check your current or old passport's expiration date.
Countries need to have at least a 6-month window of validity on your passport in order to actually travel to that country. So don't wait for the last minute.
Yeah, and then they're good for 10 years. So passport delivery usually takes about 13 weeks, but you can get yours in 7 to 9 weeks by paying extra for that expedited service. Well, volunteers, we are so thankful for you. They cleaned up area beaches and parks the day after the 4th of July on what some call the dirtiest day of the year. A local hotel and nonprofit teamed up to host a cleanup for the very first time. CBS 8's Ariana Cohen also shares some important recycling tips.
After thousands of holiday visitors and locals celebrated the long 4th of July weekend, crews are working together to clean up beaches and parks to keep San Diego clean.
We're all very conscious about our environment, global warming, and really being good stewards of our land. All the hotels here are actually lessees, so it's incumbent upon us to make sure that we take care of the area that we're on.
The nonprofit Discover Mission Bay and employees at the Dana Inn on Mission Bay are picking up trash at Sunset Point Park.
A lot of cigarette butts, plastics.
Mostly finding cigarette butts, balloons, and fireworks remnants. Republic Services workers are also here spreading awareness on how to dispose of trash, recycling, food waste, and more.
The most important thing is when you dump the plastic bags into the container, do not put the plastic bag in the recycling bin. I can't stress that enough. Super important. We don't want to see plastic bags in recycling. It causes a tremendous amount of problems at our facilities.
She also says to make sure recycled items are not contaminated, so it is properly recycled. The cleanup doesn't stop here. The environmental group Surfrider Foundation hosted 7 cleanups today, including Oceanside, Pacific Beach, Ocean Beach, and Imperial Beach.
And just learn the do's and the don'ts. And the more that you know about recycling, the more successful you're going to be, and then ultimately having a greater impact on our community.
For more helpful recycling tips, we've provided links at CBS8.com. Ariana Cohen, CBS 8.
And we share it with you. You hopefully share it with others, and we can all do our part. Well, right now, a brand new home is under construction in Bonita for a special Marine veteran and his family, all thanks to the Gary Sinise Foundation. Here's CBS 8's Brian White.
The house is big and wide, like the roofs is high.
9-year-old Dean Armento is a natural public speaker.
Everything changed a lot in life, and that's what's going to happen to us.
Marine Corps veteran Jose Armento and his family are getting a first look at their new 2,900 square foot home under construction.
Just 2 months ago, this was a dirt lot. That's amazing.
6-year-old daughter Bella writing a special message on her wall.
I love my room because my room is going to look so pretty.
It's all part of the Walls of Honor event, where family and friends write messages of hope and encouragement on the studs and wall panels before the drywall goes up.
Bella, you shine so bright.
Jose joined the Marine Corps in 2007, became a canine handler working with bomb-sniffing dogs, and while serving in Afghanistan 4 years later, he stepped on a pressure plate full of homemade explosives. He woke up 5 days later having lost both his legs above the knees.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on being injured in the military, right? But life doesn't care about your plans, and so you make the best of what life throws at you.
Now, the Gary Sinise Foundation is building Jose and his family a specially adapted smart home around his specific needs as a double amputee.
They have extra hallways that are very large, big kitchen, lower. So with his prosthetics, he can move around very quickly if he needs to.
Gary, who played Lieutenant Dan in Forrest Gump, even left his own message for the Armentos that reads, "Your sacrifice will never be forgotten."
And that's all I have to say about that.
When this home is finished in November, it'll be the 89th one built by the foundation. The best part is, it'll be mortgage-free, and Bella can't wait to move in.
I could look at my room and other things, and that is the part that I really love.
On that note, I'm Brian White for CBS 8.
Oh, she is so sweet. And that Gary Sinise Foundation, my goodness, they do good work. So, wow. All right, it is Pride. July is Pride Month in San Diego, and we are highlighting LGBTQ businesses. We are featuring Wynn's Barber Shop today in Hillcrest. It has been around since 1943. They tell us everyone is welcome, and one of their stylists explains what kind of work they do.
We do all kinds of haircuts, anything from long hair to like military fades, to we do color, we do lining of the hair, we do relaxers, anything, pretty much all services. We cover them all.
Yeah, and you can find them at 445 University Avenue. We'd also like to feature Sorensen Elite Softball Pitching. The owner is a softball pitching specialist who trains young athletes. Here's what she says sets them apart.
Not only do we do the strength and conditioning, and we look at how the body moves and what does the sport entail, and then what are the side effects to throwing a ball. I also work with a colleague of mine, Nate Walker at Diamond Solutions, and we work with analytics and data and metrics, so we can take the performance metrics, we can take the physical assessment, and we can take the skill components piece and put it all together and try to give the athlete the 360-degree approach to becoming the best athlete they can be.
Yeah, so great, and you can find them on Poway Road near the Poway Town Center. Well, a loyal CBS 8 viewer wanted to say thank you to our staff by cooking her famous jerk chicken for our newsroom. So as we take you in the Zevely Zone, Jeff meets a Jamaican chef who lived her American dream and lived it very well.
Elaine Williams immigrated from Jamaica, but she found paradise in San Diego.
Yeah, man, sweet.
This is my life in San Diego for 49 years.
74-year-old Elaine Williams has a special bond with CBS 8.
Channel 8 has been with me since 1982 when I got sworn in as a citizen.
Sun Up San Diego covered her ceremony live on TV.
Fargo's has been wowing barbecue fans.
And then when Elaine opened Fargo's Barbecue,
this is the unknown eater from Channel 8.
Guess who showed up?
I had to make his jerk chicken extra hot.
Business boomed.
Here's Magic Johnson. I catered for Magic Johnson. I also catered for Donnie Glover.
She even hosted a Super Bowl party. You cooked for 8,000 people.
Yes, yes.
But here's the thing about Elaine. She also donated a fortune worth of food to hospitals and the homeless.
It's my life. It's joy. I mean, if I was after the money in cooking, I'd be rotten rich. Money doesn't make you happy.
But love does.
And you see that guy over there?
Elaine married Rufus, a naval mechanic.
He traveled all over the world. He'd been to Desert Storm, Desert Shield.
What is it about Rufus that made you fall in love?
He let me be me. He never changed me. I said, honey, I love dancing. He said, dance whatever you want.
Rufus is in hospice, so Elaine is dancing alone these days, yet nothing can steal her joy.
What are you going to be sad about? Life is so short. Why be sad? Smile. Tell everybody you love them. We're brothers and sisters.
So back to the reason why Elaine invited us over.
Guess what?
What?
You're the one that's taking me out. Channel 8 brought me, and Channel 8 is taking me out.
Yeah.
Because you know what? I'm never going to put these uniforms back again. This is it today.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
my last catering is for you guys.
I'm so honored.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Yeah.
Elaine prepared a feast for our newsroom.
Money buy you things. People give you love.
Only asking for a hug in return.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me walk you out. Into the sunset.
Into the sunset, yeah, man. Just keep dancing. You got to do this.
The only place you'll see Elaine Williams low is on the dance floor.
Awesome.
She's lived her whole life on a Jamaican high. In the Zevely zone.
What a sweet day it is, huh?
Jeff Zevely, CBS 8.
Ooh, it's just contagious. So grateful to share her story. We need more people like that in the world. Well, as always, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for staying informed. Join me each week as I take you around San Diego. For CBS 8, I'm Jenny Day. Take good care.